You might be looking at this meme thinking it's just not true, but I'm here to tell you it is true. Gold does move first. Gold dumps first. And let's just say this is pretty bullish, but not as bullish as it's about to get. Bitcoin is now up about 1% in October. I think it's actually fair to say the bull market is back. And yeah, I've never been more bullish in my entire life. Specifically on Bitcoin, which on some short-term time frames actually looks like it's about to go a little crazy, if I'm being honest. Weekly looks honestly pretty good. Looks like we've gotten a bounce above the 50 and 21 week. Let me just come out and say it. If you're not bullish here, you're pretty much a big baby, to be honest. And that's not my opinion. That's just what reality is, right? Previous highs have turned into support, lows taken out. Bitcoin looks ready for a cracking end to the year. If we look at, obviously, over the past couple of months, this specific level, I mean, right about here is when we got above, let me just put a line on the chart. Right here is 100K. Did not come down on the most recent pullback. Chances are we might not see a sub 100K for the rest of this bull market. Dare I say, for the rest of mankind. Now, I don't personally think that. I think we probably will see a sub 100K at some point during a bear market. However, there's a lot of evidence and a lot of reasons why we actually might never see sub 100K again. And I'm going to also talk about that. But just remember, gold pumps first, then Bitcoin goes up, and we will all get girlfriends, or potentially 2 girlfriends, or potentially more than that, if you want. Me personally, I think one's enough, but people, everyone has different things they like. Some people like to have more than one girlfriend, I guess, but it seems kind of stressful. Also, we see Eric Trump saying a lot of countries in the world are actively buying Bitcoin, including United Arab Emirates. And this is one of those, as this top comment says, nation state accumulation isn't a theory anymore. It's actually a headline. This is one of those things that could potentially prevent Bitcoin from ever having those massive drawdowns again. And even if those massive, specifically or in particular, manufactured dumps happen, which they will, we've already seen them in the past few weeks, manufactured ones, probably insider trading. I mean, insider trading exists in basically all markets, right? But even though that's probably going to happen still, I just think the dumps may be less and less prolonged, or more and more just rare in terms of actually being able to scoop anything when we get the dumps, because they might just bounce back so fast, so hard, so big. The trend is friend, the trend is friend, but the trend is also your friend. Keep it simple, really. Yeah, I mean, this is a chart that I've been showing for the past 2 years too. Really, it's just higher low after higher low, bull market after confirmation. It's just a bull market still, even though it's been really boring. To be fair, yes, it's been very boring. It has not been a bull market for altcoins, but it's been a bull market for Bitcoin. And soon, altcoins will benefit. We see about almost $3 trillion being wiped out of gold's market cap in the last week. There's a lot of fear around gold. Capital is rotating from safety to speculation. I think a lot of liquidity is going to be flowing into Bitcoin specifically. We also see Fidelity predicts that one Bitcoin will be worth $1 billion by 2038. Why not 2? Heck, why not 5? Anyway, if this would happen, it would be just because the US dollar would be devalued massively, right? It's not necessarily because, well, I mean, that's the only reason Bitcoin is so expensive now, is because so expensive, but in the long run cheap. The only reason Bitcoin has had millions and millions of percent gains since it was created is because the US dollar is losing value and Bitcoin is absorbing it better than any other medium that has absorbed the crash of a fiat currency before. We also see that specifically with altcoins are basically at rock bottom versus Bitcoin. In all previous cycles, this was the starting point for alt season. This is big. Alts are also in a 4-year falling wedge. I think that there will be an alt season. I think alts will pump a lot, but I also just have, this is my opinion, I could be totally wrong, but I just feel like also when that pump happens, it's going to be rather quick. It's going to be explosive. It's going to be violent. It's going to happen. But I think what's going to end up happening is 9 out of 10 people who are invested in alts and see their portfolio skyrocket and it goes up a lot and they have a lot of money on paper, are probably going to be left holding bags because they're going to keep thinking it's going to go even higher and higher. For example, people that think XRP will hit $600 or something, let's say it's a couple dollars right now, let's say it goes up to $10 or $15, that's pretty nice returns. And then they're expecting it to go to like $500 and then it never does, then yeah, round tripping probably. I just think altcoins are, yeah, also it's kind of like, you know, timing alt seasons is way harder than timing alts, individual alts is way harder than timing Bitcoin. The Bitcoin cycle has been like very easy to predict actually. Myself and like, I don't know, I feel like most people have predicted that accurately. It's like it's pretty easy to tell when like an absolute bottom of a bear market is in, and it's pretty relatively easy to tell when it's going up. I mean, really, we've been going up for 2 straight years. I mean, this is a weekly chart. Actually, we've been going up for 3 straight years. This is 3 straight years of going up. This was the bottom at the end of 2022. Here we are at the end of 2025. Bitcoin specifically has just been basically going straight up. So we also see that Wall Street giant Citibank partners with Coinbase to work on a digital asset adoption for their clients. Just further validation and collaboration in this space. And we also have not seen a real liquidity burst like we have in previous cycles where we just see this massive increase in liquidity. And that's also going to be one of the catalysts that pushes altcoins, which you can see charted here. This is the entire altcoin market. It's going to push altcoins massively. I mean, again, we're just sitting right underneath these previous all-time highs. They have performed so poorly, and I just don't think this is the time to really be panicking here. In fact, this is when I'm invested here. But also, Bitcoin's currently above its 21 and 50-day moving averages. Actually, if I switch to here, you can see that the MACD has curved over for the first time in a couple weeks to actually print bullish momentum. And the RSI actually looks like it's had a bullish cross as well. The weekly chart for Bitcoin also looks good. Looks like a breakout could be shaping up there as well after bouncing on the 50-week moving average. The stock market is doing really well today. The NASDAQ is up over 1%. S&P is about 1%. Dow Jones is about 0.5%. Green. We're probably going to be getting another rate cut this week. I don't know. Everything is lined up, and especially because we're seeing gold, all that euphoria in gold kind of start to subside, and people start to realize, oh man, maybe. And I even said this, like on the day that it topped out, I said that it was topping out. Specifically, I can show you the chart. I was talking about it in this video, and just about how the RSI was the most overbought that it was in like 5 years. And I said, this looks like a top. Since then, we're down about 8 or 9%. I think it could go way lower as a lot of liquidity rotates into Bitcoin and other more risky assets. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see how this whole thing is shaping up. We have literally about just 2 months left. We have November and December of this year. Altcoins, again, have just been performing so badly. Bitcoin's been doing pretty good, but really nothing insanely bullish. Really, we've been kind of trading at this same level since July, right around 100K since July. So a solid like 3-4 months of pretty much just trading sideways for Bitcoin, right? This goes back to July. It's just been like kind of a sideways, maybe even some sort of like ascending, broadening wedge, something like this, megaphone, something. We're still on these macro charts, we're still basically putting in higher lows though. Going below about 100K pretty much would defeat that or would negate that, would make that not true. But everything still looks pretty bullish. There's not a crazy amount to update, honestly, but I'm just still very bullish on this. But get signed up with FEMX or BITUNIX if you want to buy Bitcoin, altcoins, or trade below. A lot of deposit and sign up bonuses if you use my link in the description. Without even